Hello everyone, Machine Gun Hunt here. I hope every single one of you are having an awesome day. And I would like to say, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year recently. It is now 2022, and now what that means is we are up. Today is a new day, and we have new challenges ahead of us. So in this video, I would basically want to make a new update with our last video last year. Why is there a giant health bar in the sky? Basically talking about 2020 Part 2, as some people would call it 2021. We are now in 2020 Part 3. I'm giving you an update on what's going on with the health bar. And so far, I feel that the health bar, for many people, has gotten much bigger. It's gotten much larger. And it seems that the boss with the health bar has given more defenses. So it's kind of like Ruby Weapon, how they have the highest defense. It's kind of like that. Only, I feel that with some people, it felt like that with the boss battle with like a raid, it's gone down to like 90% health. And once certain things happened, there's like the big pandemonium scene where you do as much DPS as possible to take the boss down. Now it feels like that the boss's health bar went up and there's more challenges right now. So they made some progress, but what kind of progress do they have? So that's basically how it's going on now. I really think that 2020 Part 3 is happening with 2022. For some people, it was a really, 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 really bad year. And for some other people, it's not been the worst. So I'm basically going to cover a whole bunch of stuff I just want to talk about. At least that's been the most important in my eyes. And I feel that it could definitely be a kind of an eye-opener of what people would expect. So yeah, I'm just going to read this Fox 59 article. Just read the title. Forget 2020. Half of Americans now think 2021 was the worst year of their lives. And who could deny it? There's definitely some people who lost loved ones. There's some people who got really sick. People who lost their jobs. They are in lockdown. They've been lonely. Mental health has skyrocketed within the past year. I wouldn't be surprised if, drug addiction, alcohol abuse, the Unalive simulator in Minecraft has increased. Lots of abuse from other people, unfortunately. So you have all these things that are going on where, because of the tough times that's happening now, it just caused lots of issues for people. The survey of 1,000 adults conducted by one poll on December 13th aimed to get an end-of-the-year reflection on many subjects and found that 53% of 2021 have been very unpleasant for them. However, 7 out of 10 still have high hopes for 2022 will be an improvement over the previous year. I don't think that's going to happen. We'll get to that in a moment. Millennials, ages 25 to 40, are the most dismissive of 2021, with 66% saying that it was a tough year. 62% of Gen Zers, 18 to 24, and 43% of Gen Xers also share that 2021 wasn't their best year. Meanwhile, 56% of Boomers disagree entirely. Now, if you guys know me personally, then you know how I'm going to approach this. When asked about their overall look on life, nearly 8 out of 10 respondents, 78%, described themselves as optimists. Another 61% also identified themselves as idealists, who envision things as they could be, while 19% prefer to be realists who see things as they are. Then it talks more about parenting in a pandemic. Obviously there's been babies born, and to be honest, because of lockdowns, I'm assuming that we're probably going to have like a baby boom on our hands that we just don't know about yet. I think birth rates actually have gone up recently, which is very interesting. You have a environment where you're raising up these quarantine babies during the pandemic, and that is all they know. The only things that they know about the past was what you told them, how it was good old times. And unfortunately, it feels that because of these lockdowns as well as these restrictions, with the way things are going right now and the promises that we've had that are broken, it feels like we're never going to come back to where we were back then. Uh, it's talking about parenting in pandemic. The study also put parenting under the microscope and found that being a mom or dad has been more hectic in 2021 than last year. However, three quarters, 70% of parents, are optimistic they'll make up for lost time with their children in 2022. 8 out of 10 men are looking forward to 2022 compared to 7 out of 10 women. That's actually interesting. Despite this feeling, 66% of the 861 parents polled add that parenthood has become more difficult for them in 2021 than when the pandemic began in March 2020. I mean, I would assume, yeah, that's definitely the case. Like, schools have been shut down, lots of activities such as wrestling and parks. Like, there's been more restrictions about that. So you not only can't hang out with friends, but guess what? You get more stressed out, and all your school is happening in a computer. Which, let's be honest, you're playing Minecraft while listening to class, which is probably the best thing to do. I take that back. I disavow. If you're playing Minecraft while in school, you're not being responsible. You're supposed to focus on your education. Us, as the Machine Gun Hunt team, recommend that you complete high school with high grades so you can be successful in life. That's my personal opinion. And they have like this, they have like these little pictographs. So the changes parents would be like to see in 2022 are more accessible childcare options. I mean, with lockdowns, I could see that. Having federal paid leave implemented in the United States, that's actually interesting. Now, why on earth would they do that? If they had like a job that had good benefits, then maybe they could do that. More remote, hybrid work options. I could definitely see that. The rollout of the beer bug vaccine under kids under 5. Actually, there has been recently a lawsuit in Australia where there's like something about billions of dollars where like over 40,000 people are getting injured because of certain medical practices. I don't want to talk about it now because honestly, I don't want to give my personal opinion, but it has been happening now and it has not been looking good for Australia. So I recommend you look at your own research. I'm not going to give my own opinion of it. It's just simply happening. I just want to let you guys know more information to let you know. And a better healthcare system. I mean, who doesn't want? Like, people keep talking about that. Of course, they do want a better healthcare system. Millennial parents. Oh gosh, millennials. Were especially likely to cite parenting difficulties. 72%, of course, followed by 62% of Gen Z parents and 58% of Gen Xers. Conversely, 39% of boomers saying parenting wasn't challenging for them at all this year. All right. So you guys see a separation with everything here. You feel that the younger people, millennials, as well as Gen Z, have been struggling more. For some odd reason, every time it's millennials, they're having the most issues because, they're drama queens. With Gen Zers, they are struggling because they're young. And then the boomers, they don't feel like they're struggling at all. That's because they're richer. They have more of a fortified structure with their retirements and their benefits, as well as simply a different way of looking at things. And, I love to make boomers as much as the other guy, but understand this. I feel that millennials and Gen Z guys would learn more how boomers work on their money, and there's a bit of a culture where they just don't want to listen to boomers because they're boomers. But at the same time, they definitely have some knowledge that could definitely benefit us later on. I mean, for crying out loud, I like doing stocks and bonds and stuff like that. Most of the people I learned from stocks are boomers. So it's just, if you guys don't like boomers at all, at least think of it like this. Take the knowledge that they have that worked for them, use it to your own advantage, and just live at peace and don't give a crap about boomers anymore. I mean, I've been pretty successful with some stocks recently, and recently I've been getting some money from boomers themselves, and I've been taking advantage of it. So, there's many other things that are wrong with the boomer generation, but at least they have money, and you could take advantage of them giving you money with certain services that you would provide for them. So, if you like money, you gotta appreciate boomers because they have the most money of all of us. And you could talk about fair share and all that. Just do sales, and then you get all their money. Yeah, there's definitely, and not only that, it's double-sided too. It seems that the boomers don't like the young people as well because they feel that they're not doing the proper job. I mean, first of all, you raised them. You raised them in order to do the best thing you think is possible, and they're failing. Like, whose fault is that? That's just, that's my 2 cents right there. You say, oh, why aren't they getting a house? Because the housing market is much higher. Income back then was much better for you guys, especially now. Inflation is just through the roof. And there's some other things like smallflation where it's the same price, but we get smaller things. Look at the housing market. You want us young people to buy a house, but it costs, like where I live, like $500,000 to get a house back at like 10 years ago that cost $200,000. You do see a problem. Am I right? There's definitely lots of talking back at each other that's going over people's heads. That's definitely one of the biggest issues that's been going on within the past couple of years. And it kind of sucks. It really does. It's also interesting is parents also share the reasons why parenthood felt more difficult in 2021, citing homeschooling. Getting my kids back to in-person school and the cost of living increased due to the beer bug, and keeping the kids safe from the Minecraft hack. Aside from these obstacles, the poll asked parents what systematic changes they like to see in 2022. What's also fascinating is that a lot of parents, they have been going to homeschooling because not only of the availability of homeschooling compared to public school, especially with this lockdowns and pandemic, but it seems that a lot of parents don't feel comfortable with public schools anymore. I mean, just look at all all the people wanting to hurt someone else in school, bullying, people that have Nerf guns that want to give their darts to other people, if you guys understand me. Teachers doing really terrible things to other kids. You also have the curriculum that a lot of parents just simply do not like at all. Homeschooling has definitely gotten more popular, and it looks like that a lot of parents are just sticking to homeschooling no matter what. Back to the grind. The survey who also looked at American work lives, finding that 9 out of 10 employed Americans are excited to head back to work in person full time. Out of 861 workers polled, 87% of them are ready to ditch virtual meetings and cannot wait to head back to their physical workplace in the next year. Despite a rise of confirmed beer bug cases related to the Omicron, what is that? A transformer? Omicron? That's Unicron, the Unicron variant. 48% expect to be back at the work in person next year, while 21% don't see themselves going back to the office so far. Only 14% of respondents have already returned to a physical workplace. What's actually interesting is when people went back to the office, they felt that work was just a lot easier working at home. They actually were more productive at home than at the office. They spent more time, actually made more money, and there were new opportunities for them. So because of this, there's been a lot of bad things that have happened because of this pandemic. But probably one of the good things is that people understand that there's more opportunities to make money at home. So that's actually really exciting to see. Maybe we could be more productive, and instead of having like a 5 day work week, some people could have a 4 day work week. And I've been working at a job recently where that's been the case, and it's been awesome. More video game time, more YouTube time. It's just been a really good time to do it so far. Those expired, so there's little things like that. So basically, work, parenting, as well as schooling, and that seems to be the biggest thing people want to look at. I want to look at some other articles right here. All right, so I want to go to mental health here. Now, really, I really have a big feeling that mental health is gonna be really, really bad within the next couple of years, simply because of loneliness, of unemployment. The stock market has been really fluctuating, so people don't have really big concerns, and also just simply, causing lots of different amounts of abuse with substances and alcohol and stuff like that. And for some odd reason, for the people I've talked about, when they look up at this, they say that, oh, Sudoku in Minecraft rates isn't going high because of the pandemic. Have you been looking around? uh, you don't think that mental health has been going up? That's kind of a very silly thing to do. So I just want to look at and approach this, and I just want to see you guys draw your own conclusions here. Um, Year ender 2021, lonely for elderly, unproductive for children, stressful for adults. 2021 indeed was a bad year for mental health. While people continue to hear their individual battles and deal with job loss of a dear one, anxiety problems, mental issues, depression, screen addiction, I'm suffering with screen addiction right now. I'm on my computer talking to the endless void that is the internet, and hopefully somebody will be able to listen. Bad abuse and loneliness. There seem to be no immediate in spite of all pandemic-related woes. 2021 was particularly a bad year for mental health for adults. Children and elderly suffered alike. Mental health for children went from bad to worse as they enter another year of digital learning with little interaction with peers and teachers. Many adults who lost their jobs or juggled with multiple tasks at home were left either depressed or exhausted. Elderly too missed their morning walks and little interactions they had with people and felt disconnected and distressed. Rise in stress, anxiety, depression, insomnia in kids. Oh my gosh. As per psychologists, there has been a steep rise in cases of depression, anxiety, and issues in children as they felt lonely and suffered in mood swings, irritation, anxiety, and depression issues. Children panicked. They felt lonely, stressed, frustrated, yada yada. I already said that. And having mood swings as they failed to understand exactly what's going on around them. They even had to stop socializing and meet their friends. That also led to behavioral challenges, obstruction in cognitive health. That is, an inability to focus on the studies, restlessness, boredom, and nervousness, uneasiness, and even thought of self-harm in older children were some of the grave problems, said Dr. Sunil Anand, psychologist in Witch Heart Hospital. I am terrible at reading certain names. Worry over career issues, lots of stress, and surgical tendons. Oh my gosh. Sudoku in Minecraft tendencies. Various studies indicate that a sudden loss of employment along with financial stress look on a huge toll on the mental health on the working community as they show symptoms of increased aggressiveness, post-traumatic stress, and increased Sudoku in Minecraft tendencies. Some of us during this lockdown wrestled with familiar conflict, while others stressed over how the beer bug disruptions have affected their careers, businesses, academic performance, or daily wage. Increase in cases of divorce and separation. You guys been seeing all of this right here. Well, for many, pandemic time was considered a great time to bond as family, the spike in cases of divorce and separation tells a different story. In a very unpredicted way, I honestly don't think it's very unpredicted. Like, we're imperfect people. If we see something that might be good, we end up making something very bad. That's just having expectations of people like that. I will go back to that in a little bit, actually. COVID has, dang it, I said the word. The beer bug has forced families and partners to spend a lot of time together. Initially, the picture was as rosy as possible, but eventually, the interruption of privacy and space led to increased upheavals and Struce's relationships. So yeah, what's actually interesting with these lockdowns is what's interesting is when you have something tragic happen to a family, let's say a death in the family, maybe one of your brothers or sisters or parents die. When something like that happens, or like if somebody had got like cancer, for example, then they would have a situation where the family is tested, and it releases the veils on how the family really is doing. You've seen it before. You see a family where they have like this whole facade. Everything is all right, but really everything is not going all right. And until something bad happens, it actually shows what the problem is. So during these tough times, if there's a death in the family, if someone just got cancer, somebody lost their job, or even with this beer bug pandemic, it kind of opens the veil on what really is going on, and it really tests the health of the family unit itself. And because of this lockdowns, it just shows what really is happening with the family, and it just sometimes blows up in people's faces. And when this happens, the problems that weren't really like shown in the first place, now it just sees what truly is happening. And because of these, it just shows if you have a healthy relationship with your family, then despite having rough times, you're still moving forward. But if the family isn't doing good at all, then guess what? You're gonna have lots of issues, and unfortunately, either that's gonna ending up in divorce, separation, abuse, and even Sudoku and Minecraft type of activities, and it's pretty bad. It really is bad. Rise in domestic violence, addictions, and substance abuse. Experts also saw an increase in cases of domestic abuse, substances, and addictions in 2021 as people took their frustrations in an unhealthy manner. Due to the presence of existing unresolved issues, people face difficulties in facing their emotions. We've seen a spike in separation and divorce. However, we also see individuals coming up and trying to resolve these issues, says the experts. Post beer bug mental health issues. People who recover from the beer bug also struggle with mental health issues like anxiety, insomnia, and mood disorders. Good grief. And I have particularly found cases of hypochondria, other anxiety disorders, including OCD, mood disorders, depression, substance abuse, as well as insomnia. Hypochondria is quite prevalent after recovering from the beer bug. People suddenly have fear of a relapse, worried about their near and dear ones being infected with the beer bug, contacting with other illnesses, including terminal illnesses like cancer and dying. Such people became paranoid and obsessed over their health and the health of their loved ones excessively. I have treated patients that have been experiencing frequent panic attacks and insomnia because of hypochondria. I can't say that. Stupid Latin. But you guys seem to catch the drift of what's really going on here. And for some reason, people are denying that, mental health cases are going up. And heck, even Sudoku and Minecraft cases are going up. It's definitely gone up in 2021. It's not until once we get the new reports with the CDC or with the Worldometer that we're gonna see that. And if you keep denying about it, then guess what? You're part of the problem for not talking about these type of things. So, there's several like people in the internet that want to talk about how 2021 has not only been a bad year for them, but also a good year. There's definitely been lots of things that has happened for some people. Me personally, not only there might be some bad things like, oh, I had to like wear a mask in order to get to a store. And honestly, I don't care wearing one as long as they provide it for me. There's that. And yeah, there's definitely been some great opportunities for people. Like, I got a new job last year, which pays very well and great hours and all that, which is really good. Um, I'm just going to read a couple of these from Quoria. So, in 2021 comes to an end, I want to reflect on the things I did this year. Lost 10 kilos of my weight on my own without dietitian, nutrition, or gym. From consistency, dedication to key to success. Completed 4 internships and recognized as the best performer of the month. Very cool. Earned my first income. Nice. Learned that there are 2 ways to learn from mistakes. Make them on your own. Read books. I prefer the second one. Absolutely agree. I've been reading a good amount of books. Mostly like, the Iliad and like Starship Troopers and all that. Lots of good life lessons from those books. So I'm planning on reading some new books. I'm probably going to read some Dostoevsky a little bit. Russian authors are the best ones in my opinion. This year I've read 6 books. 4 nonfiction and 2 fiction. Nice. Never compare myself to anyone. Agreed. Respect every opinion because it seems 9 to you until it'll feel differently. Be 6 for someone else. Yeah, that's true. The point is how many of us practically implying in our real life. This year, I particularly adopted it and started meditating and reiterating myself. Nice. Is it possible to stay? Is it possible that you make your mind begin to think like that? Lots of mental, lots of mental notes, lots of tricks you can have. Start reading the editorials, starting day writing, whatever. And you have all these like lists that they have here. There's also some other things too. Here's a list that are good / bad in 2021 this year. We had online classes and my grades went up a lot. Various beer bug variants like Delta and Omicron have popped up and scared the crap out of everyone. Yep. Radical racial related protests cause lots of distress for a lot of us because it's quite horrible. Yep, that's definitely happened. Best thing I could think of, for some reason, I have no idea. The Kyle Rittenhouse trial. This actually makes me angry. So, people say that the Kyle Rittenhouse trial was about race. Kyle Rittenhouse is white, and he shot 3 white guys. And for some reason, it was a race-related issue. That's how crazy race relations are with the United States. They say it's a race issue, even though a white guy killed 3 white guys. Or killed 2 white guys and shot another white guy. I don't know. That kind of triggered me a lot. I just don't get that a lot. The Atlanta spa shooting made me paranoid to go outside for a bit because the anti-Asian sentiment. Oof. Unfortunately, she is right. Or, I'm not sure what gender you are, but yeah, they are absolutely right. Yeah, there's been a lot of things going on with that, especially in like California. Lots of, especially older Asians, like get beaten up or getting punched in the face. Like that's just horrible. If you're watching this and you're kind of racist, don't do it. Yeah, like really, really bad. And unfortunately, there's been a lot of sentiment about that since like COVID, and there's lots of talk about with China, how and unfortunately, people will like to blame Asians for that, and it's just not the best approach at all. It's not Asians at all. It's just simply people just not doing a good job taking care of stuff. it just stinks. Like, people are not being responsible, or they're just not doing the right thing. It's just really the biggest issue, probably in this entire world right now. People suck. They're not doing what they're supposed to do, and they're blaming other people for their mistakes. One of the most big pet peeves. Uh, Grandma passed away. Oh, that stinks. All my paternal uncles had. Oh my gosh. After a little incident. Good grief, that stinks. On Easter Sunday, I had mysterious rashes and appeared all over my body, and thankfully, uh, it wasn't like, COVID or anything. Dang, I said it again. Dull headache, numerous incidents between me and my parents that I don't want to talk about because I'll make it go angry and rant about them. Yeah, it's just like good things and bad things. Being on a program for trouble kids like me, it was stressful and distressing. Um, yeah, lots of good things and lots of bad things that's happened to people. My favorite Japanese singer one. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that stinks. Sayurika Kanda. Yeah, that stinks. What did... Here, let me look this up. Yeah, she did like a... She was a really big voice actress or whatever. Sayaka. Let me look this up. Yeah. Yeah, she passed away a couple weeks ago. Let me see here. Yeah, she did the language. She did the Japanese dub for Anna and Frozen. And let's see here. Filmography. Let's see. Yeah, she did lots of stuff. Yeah, she did lots of Japanese dubs for like movies and like cartoons and stuff like that. Like she did Las More Miserables. Let's see here. She did lots of Japanese dubs. She did lots of television. Oh yeah, she did Sora Online. Yeah, Good Luck Girl, Unlimited Fafnir, and yeah, she did lots of cool stuff. Yeah, she died recently. That's a shame. Yeah, lots of people died. Betty White just died recently. That actually sucks because she's actually one of the very few celebrities who made a change in society. So it's a shame that someone like a titan like that is able to die like that, which is very shameful. Um, there was some stuff that went on with 2021. Me personally, the Tokyo Olympics happened, and it just didn't feel the same at all. I just want to show you this picture here. Look at this. This was the stands during a tennis match during the Olympics. Nothing. It was just void. It looked like a ghost town or whatever. You have all these like people, like all these athletes wanting to go to do their Olympics, like their dreams that they always wanted to do, and nobody was there to support them. And it just felt, it was successful in its own way, but in other ways, it was kind of a failure. The Japanese people didn't like the Olympics happening there in the first place because, literally the entire world wanted to go to Japan just to see the Olympics. Meanwhile, a pandemic was going on, and they felt like they got the short end of the stick. And because of that, not supporting the Olympics, it just made it so that the Olympics wasn't supported that everyone wanted it to be. And because of that, it just didn't feel the same. Even though history was made several times throughout the Olympics, it felt like it was missed because the news was just focusing on the protests against the Olympics, which is pretty sad, especially for the Olympians. And it just causes lots of difference. It's just separation. It really does. Not only that, lots of shortages, lots of economic issues with this pandemic. If you guys are still hunting for a PS5, I apologize because, lots of shortages with chips as well as just the demand for certain things to at least keep ourselves sane for a little bit in order to play the new PlayStation 5. As you can see, scalpers led by notorious supervillain Wish You Luck has been scalping the PS5 all over, as you can see right here. And you have all these issues that are going on, not only with computers, but also with everyday things. The best example I could think of is devices for hospitals, like, nurse calls, fire alarms, that sort of thing. The chips that are used on everyday items such as that, like, computers or whatever, there's a big shortage because of not only a shortage of people delivering all those items to the stores, but also just simply less people who are working in these industries and not being as productive that is necessary for the demand. You see this all the time with like McDonald's. There's not enough employees to actually work so we could like serve a certain amount of people that we normally have. I was just at Banana Republic yesterday, and they were closing early due to the lack of employees that need to be working there. They were closing at 3 o'clock instead of 8 or 9, which is absolutely crazy. So, because of the supply and demand and really just the restrictions for transporting a whole bunch of stuff, it's going to be more difficult to keep up with the supply and demand of not only selling things for other people, which makes it so that you have more jobs, but also, there's so much jobs that people want to, that are available. Is just, people either feel uncomfortable to work because they don't want to be exposed to a certain beer bug, or they just felt comfortable where they are now just working, and it could be the perfect time to get more income simply for working 2 jobs. So I don't know. If you guys are working a full-time job, but it's Monday through Friday and you want to make some extra cash, I don't know, make a little bit of a help and deliver pizzas or whatever to have more jobs filled so that restaurants could be more productive and make more money, And small businesses, this is especially true. If you actually work in a small business and help them out, then yeah, I think they'll appreciate it a lot more. In fact, I might call a certain restaurant that's my favorite. But who knows? I might go out there and help them out. So yeah, PS5 is the biggest example of this, and that definitely has been a big approach for it right there. There's been some stuff going on with YouTube as well as TikTok. Lots of different types of things that are going on with influencers and who say that they want to help people out, but really they're kind of messed up themselves. You could think about Fresh and Fit, how they help men with their own issues. However, they kind of cancel people for talking bad about them, and they're kind of morons, honestly. You have Jack Murphy, who got easily offended, even though he himself said he's the alpha male. But an Australian woman named Sydney Watson triggers him, and it just led to a path of self-canceling. And now, because this man right here, she asked a question with a super chat that she knows nothing about. He gets angry, tells her to F you, and after that, people are questioning the past about a certain article he wrote, and he got so mad about it that he decided to restrict, block, cancel a whole bunch of people, including Sydney Watson. And now he wants to strike, take down Twitter users, including the quartering, because he got really, really offended. I'm sorry, Jack Murphy, also known as John Goldman. You, sir, are the most triggered beta male I've ever seen in my entire life. In fact, I think Monday Matt is better than you. I really do. This man is Monday Matt 3.0. What a piece of crap, man. John Goldman, man. I would say research him on what's going on with him, but you shouldn't, because he kind of did some very not safe for work kind of non-heterosexual type of things that are just really stupid, garbage type of things. Kind of a messed up individual, honestly. And then not only that, he not only had like a weird like past, but he also is covering up and like literally canceling slash striking people down with like copyrights and like terms and services type of stuff. Absolute garbage human. Jack Murphy. I hope your success isn't successful because you are harming people. You really are. And not only that, apparently there's the Colorado shooter in Denver. Apparently they have connections with Jack Murphy because he was a member of his services. So very dark stuff. All right, Sniper Wolf. Oh no, controversy with a YouTuber. Who knew? Apparently there was this little girl who was literally dying. I think it was like cancer or something like that. And she's a big fan of Sniper Wolf. And Sniper Wolf said, "Hey, I will talk to you because if I helped you out with like going through with like treatments and stuff like that, then I would love to speak with you." They're like, "Okay." And then she approached them, but then when they tried to call her, she said, "Oh, I'm busy." Sniper Wolf, Jack Murphy, Fresh and Fit, some other people like that, just making lives a lot harder in terrible times of themselves. So I don't know. I guess life lesson is in order to help people, help yourself first so that you won't make a big fiasco with everything. All right. Before I want to show this, this little video right here, I want to tell you guys that, me personally, 2021 actually haven't been a bad year for me. It's been pretty good, Made some new friends, made some good YouTube content. Actually, last year was really, really good because we not only have over 300 subscribers now, which back then was like 200. We basically got 1/3 more people started watching our content, but we also got some videos that have, including like 26,000 viewers watching our "Why is there a giant health bar in the sky?" And we also make some good bangers. We talked about the Say No Rage controversy. We actually have the best farming way to farm our materials that has 1,000 views. We have a whole bunch of different videos. Like for some reason, watching a BA gaming video actually did pretty good. So yeah, hopefully the success will keep moving forward. We have right now 311 subscribers. Literally got 100 new subscribers from this last year. Very productive. Thank you guys for your support and just watching the content. Hextra, you've been a big support with the live streams. Many of you guys out there, like, very supportive. I also like to give out a shout out to some of my YouTube friends. Tank TV. Giving me some tips. Gamertron. For him, it was a big struggle, but because of his content, it just helped me drive forward. Beard Grizzly. He hasn't made content in a while, but I'm in his Discord, and with lots of good jokes. Like, appreciate you, brother, if you're watching this. I thank you very much. Just lots of different communities out there that I've been a part of. Blitzy, actually, recently I've been talking with him with Final Fantasy. I keep calling him Blitzy. That's my nickname for him, but his name is Blitz. Awesome content for Final Fantasy 7 as well as some other stuff with Final Fantasy. I actually am like the only member of him. What else is there? Amazing Lolly, very interesting guy. You should check him out. He makes some good essays about like anime, video games, and movies and stuff like that. Really cool guy. And yeah, basically the entire LRG community with the Destiny app. You guys have been awesome, and you've been like a really cool experience of playing raids, nightfalls, whole bunch of different activities like dungeons. I appreciate every single one of you out there. And it's been a good year. It's been a really good year for Destiny content for YouTube content, for a whole bunch of different types of stuff. And I have some blueprints where everything is going to make things a lot better, and hopefully it's going to make it a lot easier for me to make content for you guys, and it's going to be great. To conclude this video, I want to go ahead and play this video right here about Harry Potter and how the life lesson here is to stand your ground. Now, a lot of times when you are doing something, in order to be successful in life, instead of stepping forward and volunteering, instead of doing that, just do something easier but more courageous, I guess you could say. Just stand your ground. A lot of times people would just step back and not do what's needed or what they should do. But it really should work out where they should be doing the right thing simply by standing their ground. So I'm going to play this video and just show a good example and what I think is the best scene out of all the Harry Potter movies. So yeah, here we go. And then let's go ahead and just watch it.
Da, 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 da. Isn't he beautiful? Say hello to Buckbeak.
Hagrid. Exactly what is that?
That, Ron, is a hippogriff. First thing you want to know about hippogriffs is that they're very proud creatures, very easily offended. You do not want to insult a hippogriff. It may just be the last thing you ever do. Now, who'd like to come and say hello?
You notice that, guys?
Well done, Harry. Well done.
He didn't even move forward. He just stood his ground.
Now, you have to let him make the first move. It's only polite. So, step up, give him a nice bow, then you wait and see if he bows back. And if he does, you can go and touch him. If not, well, we'll get to that later. Right. Now, just make your bow. Nice and low. Back off, Harry. Back off. Keep still. Keep still.
Notice how even though he didn't step forward, he's still approaching the hippogriff as if, you know, he needs to do it or wants to do it. He's being cooperative.
Right. I think you can go and pat him now. Go on. Don't be shy.
When you stand your ground, you're prone to more opportunities to your, you know, the people around you.
Nice and slow. Nice and slow. Oh, not so fast, Harry. Slow down, Harry. That's nice and slow. Now let him come to you. That's it. Slowly now. Slowly. That's it. Yes. Well done. Oh, well done, Harry. Well done.
Now, who gets to say that they pet the hippogriff first before?
Hey!
Over here. Just
Hagrid.
the wing joint. Don't pull out any of his feathers, because he won't thank you for that.
Sometimes you go to places where you never even imagined before. I don't care if they like, you know, I don't care if they copy strike me, I don't make money out of this. great scene. I love it. It was just a great movie overall.
Well done, Harry. And well done, Brad Beach.
All right. So, the life lesson here for this scene is that a lot of times, in order to do really good things, not only for yourself, but for other people, is just simply stand your ground. You don't have to move forward. Just simply stay where you need to do. Basically, in order to move forward in life and be successful, do an okay job at your job, school, or whatever. Because unfortunately, a lot of people, they don't do a good job in their lives, and straight up, they suck. Like, how many times have you worked at like McDonald's or whatever, and a lot of the employees just suck at their job? If you just do okay at your job, then guess what? You're like the best or good employee. You don't have to simply excel at your job. Just simply stand your ground and look at the opportunities that'll open up for you, and just take a good flight. Look at Harry. He simply just stood his ground, not stepping back like everyone else, and he was able to experience not only petting a hippogriff for the very first time out of everybody there, but also was the first one to fly. Like, you can't take that away from him anymore. He had that experience, and now that hippogriff will remember Harry Potter for the rest of his life. And really, because of this movie scene, I was able to do stuff like that, and now I make more money than I ever done in my entire life. I have more opportunities. I have more free time. 2021 has not been the worst year for me, despite having all the issues that's been going on as the entire world rotates. So, as a lesson, just go ahead and stand your ground, go where the hippogriff takes you, and just go ahead and live life. So, that's all I'm gonna say, guys. I hope all of you had a wonderful Christmas and a happy New Year. And it may be that we will have 2020 Part 3. However, it really doesn't matter as long as you stand your ground. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share this video. I normally don't say this, but make sure you check out my Twitter account. I do like to have some conversations about, Final Fantasy VII, Destiny, or really just some funny memes that's been going on, especially with Jack Murphy. And also, go ahead and check out my Odyssey as well. It's just another platform that I use just to make some content in case YouTube shuts down or something like that. At least I could still have a place where I can make some content for you guys. So yeah, make sure you go ahead and have an awesome day. And remember, be excellent to each other. All right, guys, have an awesome day.